keynote. Actually, thank you everyone for being here. I'm very excited about this conference because look at who is gathered here. I mean, these are the people whose hearts and souls are in this effort. And for years and years and decades, many of these people have been involved and they don't give up, which I really like. I would like to start by sharing the Elephant Code of Living with you. This code was introduced, excuse me, to me 2 years ago by Gigi Gallion, who is a veterinarian who was participating in one of my foot care workshops in Nepal. It was a surprise to me. I hadn't seen it before. Excuse me. When I was asked to speak at this conference, I knew I wanted to share this code with you, communicate this sacred information. What I'm going to ask you to do is read the code silently as I'm reading and let, excuse me, pollen, and let my voice really resonate in your being. Okay, so we're going to start. The Elephant Code of Living. The clan who span time with the intent to hold humanity's heart. We who were fathered by the electric storms. We who were birthed by the stardust of Orion pledge our lives to the preservation of the human heart in times when mind hides love's ways. There is in the deepest folds of this universe a secret passageway through the dark to light on the other side. This passage is discovered eventually by those who see through the emptiness of power, the cruelty of bondage, and the loneliness of mind. Elephant is here to guide those who are ready. Elephant is here to stir the recall of primal origins that are the foundations of life in form on earth. Elephant is here to help bleed the pain from the heart and let it breathe again. In the journey that is considered a lifetime, there is opportunity for humans to awaken to the memory of their birth, the birth that is beyond the womb, beyond the DNA of mothers and fathers, to the creation spark that gave life movement. From stillness into action, this birth is a chance to know oneself as consciousness. Elephant is a composite of original birth. Elephant is the resonance of awakening gently, gradually, to the experience of consciousness in countless forms. Elephant is the species that holds the memory of all this and more. When we see the world of form, we see harmony. When we see the mind of humanity, we see distortion. When we see the heart of humans, we see longing. And so we respond to the longing with an extension of our cellular energies. The memories that humans need in order to remember who they are come directly from our eyes, our sounds, and our hearts. In the hardest of times on earth, we will be here to keep the memories alive. Humans are not here to destroy or to steal what is not theirs. Humans are not here to create separation from the natural world. Humans are here to listen to the music. Humans are here to feel the heartbeat of Earth. Humans are here to dance and sing and exchange stories and come to know one another. Elephants harbor no resentment for being treated as less than they are. We filter this pain and give back invitations to see us. Those of us who cannot endure captivity shall lose their true nature and fight and weaken and die. Those of us who can endure the changes bow to the hearts of humans that they may be felt and become the guides for the future of Earth. So be it. looking around this room and feeling this room, I can see that this code affects people in the same way it does me. And we are blessed to have this communication come from the elephants. And in my experience, every word of this code is so true in my experience, that elephants are so advanced, they are so connected, they are so here with us. And we, this collection of people, we want to hear them. And we do. So, what touches me the most about the code is the idea that elephants do have a voice, right? Not a voice that we hear, but a seriously strong presence in the universe that we humans are straining to hear, and even more importantly, we are desperately trying to understand. The code encourages me to continue my elephant welfare work, to open hearts and change minds, with the goal to evolve culture. I was going to do this morning without interjecting my work. And someone last night said, well, why would you do that? And I said, well, you know, I just want to talk about the code and that. And they said, would you please talk a little bit about your work? So, then we go way back. 1974, I met the bean in elephant form, who would accompany me on my lifelong journey. 20 years later, Tara, this same elephant, was the inspiration for the creation of the nation's first natural habitat refuge exclusively for elephants. By 2010, under her patient tutelage, we successfully brought 23 elephants to sanctuary to live in an environment of autonomy and respect. Their rescue not only benefited each individual elephant, but touched the hearts and affected the lives of thousands, tens of thousands of people. Tara did that. Tara has done amazing things in her short 43 years, and she gets credit for all of it. These rescues, of course, that Tara and I and the whole crew at the sanctuary were doing, it was changing minds, it was educating and bringing an awareness that had not yet been apparent, or it had been limited to a few people, and now it was going mainstream. In 2010, we were separated. Tara remained in Tennessee, and I was forced to embark on a personal journey without her. It was quite a struggle. I didn't know how to breathe without her. I didn't know how to be without her. Obviously, that's why the universe kicked me out the door and said, figure out how to stand on your own 2 feet, and she'll still be there. I created Elephant Aid International with the goal to bring aid to captive-held elephants in Asia. Currently, we provide 3 programs. The first program that we do, and I love it, is Elephant Foot Care. We provide foot care to hundreds and hundreds of elephants in Asia, and recently, in the last couple of years, have been able to organize workshops where we're training others how to do the foot care. Not only people who care for elephants, who run institutions that have elephants, or even run lodges that have elephants, but also the mahouts have finally come on board and are proud to be trimming elephant feet. And of course, they're the key. They know elephants, they know elephant autonomy, they know how their elephant moves, and they're skilled. So I'm very pleased this last time I went in February, it's like the mahouts were actually pushing the interns out of the way because they wanted to trim feet. So that was good. So that's, of course, one of my close to my heart programs. We also provide education for mahouts to encourage them to use positive reinforcement with the elephants, and also to improve the elephant's diet, and then, of course, the husbandry practices. We also build chain-free corrals. We built the first chain-free corrals in Asia, and that took off like wildfire. And the government of Nepal invited us to create chain-free corrals, which are minimum 1 acre, for all 64 of their captive-held elephants that they use for anti-poaching patrol. So that was done 2 years ago. Huge lesson. You can build the best thing in the world, but if it isn't sustained, then it isn't sustained. So it's back to the drawing board to figure out how we keep these corrals functioning so that the elephants remain off chains. In the meantime, after we built these corrals for the government, a private lodge brought us in to build corrals for them, tiger tops. And we built 13 acres of corrals, 3 corrals, and they had 11 elephants. They do have 11 elephants. And those were the first privately owned elephants to go chain-free, and they remain chain-free today. So currently we have created 106 multi-acre chain-free corrals in Thailand, India, and Nepal, and it is taking off with others now, utilizing the same system. It's a good system because it's solar powered. In Nepal they have maybe 2 to 3 hours of electricity every day, sometimes none at all, so solar power is important. I have learned that changing culture, which is what I realize we have to do to be successful in Asia, that should not be the first effort, especially in a culture that is foreign to me. First, I must immerse myself in the culture so that I can begin, and only begin, to understand how these people think and why they live and do things the way that they do. Once immersed in the culture, I then must develop an authentic empathy for the people and the challenges they face. And we're talking mahouts. The mahouts situation is as dire as the elephants. And until we recognize that, we won't be able to be effective in changing the life for elephants. We have to understand that these mahouts are not bad people. They're not. They have bad behavior, which they have been taught and reinforced and told to do. But from my experience, they are willing and able to change if we are patient enough. But they are not the villain. They are not the enemy. They're actually the person who is going to help to improve elephant welfare. It is reassuring for me to believe that elephants do not see themselves as victims. This is my experience. They recognize the injustice, but vibrate at a higher level, which allows them to overcome the hardships in a superior way. Like the code says, those who are unable to deal with the situation, they will fight and they will die. But others will live on, continuing to create opportunities for us humans to evolve. I believe that in addition to their many attributes, elephants are our greatest teachers. Elephants have taught me everything I know, and everything I know to be real. And I would like to share this one story with you, and I probably have gone over my time. But I wanted to share a story about Tara. She was about 8 years old. We were living in Ojai, California, up in a national park, a little house in the national park area. There was a Ventura River in front of us, and across the road and down a mile or so was a little lake, Matilaha Lake. It was a reservoir. No one was allowed to go there. You weren't allowed, humans weren't allowed to swim there. And so we used to go there every day. And so one day we went, and we have to hike up the road, and it's Tara and me and the 2 dogs and the 2 goats, and nobody around, and it's fabulous. And so we get to the lake, and it had rained really heavily for 2 days before. And so there was quite a bit of debris, silt, and just pieces of wood and stuff around the edge of the water, and Tara hesitated to go in. And I know how much she likes to play in the water, and so I said, hey, what's going on? Go in the water. And so she, okay, I'm going in. She goes in, she swims, she has her normal fun time. And then she turns around to come out. And as she tried to come out, when she got to the edge of the lake, she actually sunk to her armpits, to her belly. She is sunk. So she's struggling to get out. I'm saying, come on, you can do it, you know. And so she's struggling to get out. She struggles for a while, and she got tired. So she backed up into the water. And she laid on her side, and elephants are incredibly buoyant, so she's bobbing along on the top of the water. So she's resting and recovering from exerting all that energy. And as she's resting and bobbing, she's kind of floating in this direction. And it's a very small lake with a big dam. And I'm looking, and the water is going over the dam. And Tara is floating towards the dam. So I freak out, of course. I panic, and I yell at her, and I say, come on, we gotta go, we gotta go. So she swims over, comes to the edge again, tries to get out again, and now I'm being demanding. Come out right now, you have to come out right now, And she's looking at me like, yeah, I'm trying, I'm like, oh, okay. So she then has to rest again. Now she lays on her side again. I see she's floating. I'm like, I'm in charge here. I'm here to protect her. What am I gonna do? Okay, tow truck. I get a tow truck, I pull her out. We didn't have cell phones. I'm 3 miles away from a house. I go, okay, you're gonna go get a tow truck. She's gonna be in the water. She could go over the dam. At about that time, I said, I can't help you. I can't do this. She got righted herself in the water. She's 8 years old, okay? Been in captivity since she's 6 months old. She swims to the edge, gives me a dirty look, gets sunk in, and then lifts a foot out, reaches and collects the debris of all that wood and puts it in the hole, puts her foot in, packs it, does it again, now the other foot. She spent 20 minutes packing these holes and walking out and packing the holes. I'm running, getting more driftwood because she was collecting it all. I'm watching in amazement. She got out on her own with no help from me. Okay, so of course, let's see. I want to find this place. So I remember this, of course, like it was yesterday because it's so important. One thing was I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm her protector and I can't protect her. And then I'm standing in amazement, realizing, how did she know to do that? Cell memory? The ability to problem solve? Wow. 8 years old. I was in my 20s and I couldn't figure it out, all right? So she got out, she walked past me, gave me another dirty look, which she would do a lot when I messed up, and she didn't talk to me all the way home. I mean, she was walking ahead of me going like, oh, and I'm like, oh, I really messed up there, okay. Well, that day and that experience was one of the most profound experiences that Tara has shared with me, but it wasn't the only. She has taught me so much, and I do feel like she would want me to share that with you. So, thank you for this opportunity to introduce you to the Elephant Code of Living and my life with Tara. And it is truly an honor to be in the presence of so many talented, hardworking, and dedicated people. And I look forward to this interesting and, I'm sure, very productive conference. Thank you.